Ah, summer camp. Such an amazing place, isn't it? You get sent to it just so you can spend a little bit of time outdoors. But by the end of it, you've met new friends and, in your mind, gone on your own little adventure. And this is just as true for the characters and story in Psychonauts. What's up, gamers? With the recent release of Psychonauts 2, I decided to take a look back at the cult classic collectathon, Psychonauts. At the start, we find Coach Oleander, Agent 9, and Agent Vodello giving a presentation to the campers about the Psychonauts, an elite task force of psychics who go on missions inside the mind. Then, a mysterious figure falls from the trees. Our main character, Raz, who decided to run away from the circus, unlike most others who decide to run toward it. He's also noted to have strong mental abilities despite not having training. But as explained by Agent 9, he still did break into a highly classified military summer camp, which means he still needs his parents' permission to be able to continue his training, which gives Raz all of one day to become a Psychonaut. In the morning, we learn that we have to head to basic training, but before this, we're able to explore the basic living quarters for the kids and talk to some of the fellow campers.
I would never do that. I could never kill everyone.
Alright, man. You do you. You know what they say. Whatever floats your boat. After whatever that was, you'll make it up to Coach Oleander's camp where he'll bring you into his mind. And due to him being a war veteran, it's themed as a war obstacle course, which serves as the tutorial level for you. In this level, you'll find yourself on trapeze, tight ropes, wall climbs, and trampolines, which helps show off Raz's circus roots. The next level is of Sasha's mind. It's shown to be nice, neat, and organized in a small cube. But after Raz goes poking around where he's not supposed to, it becomes a chaotic mess. But as a whole, this level serves as a tutorial just for the ability of the Psy Blast, which is a neat way of introducing new abilities without it feeling redundant. Agent Vodello's level is basically the same tutorial mechanic, but for the levitation ability instead of the Psy Blast. But it's nice because it's probably the most happy and cheerful level out of the bunch, with it being a 70s and 80s music type level. But if you go looking where you're not supposed to, it can lead to some very dark discoveries. I see I've walked in on the wrong time. I'm just gonna see myself out. After this, you go back into your own mind to try and save Dogen, but you're too late. But you realize that Lily's next to have her brain removed, so you need to find her before she gets kidnapped. But you're too late and she gets kidnapped by the mutant lungfish. After a quick boss fight with the lungfish, you enter their mind to try and save them from whatever's controlling them. And when you enter, it's probably one of the best levels in the game, with you being a giant Godzilla creature called Gotgalore, and you have to travel the city trying to destroy a tower that's controlling the citizens. Once you reach the tower, you engage in a boss fight with Coach Hamra, a superhero-looking character who is revealed to be Coach Oleander in disguise, which means he's behind everything going on with the campers. After you destroy the tower, the lungfish, whose name is revealed to be is free from their control, and in return, they transport you to the asylum, which is where Lily was taken to. At the entrance of the asylum are some locked gates, so you decide to talk to Boyd the guard, but he refuses to let you in because only the milkman has the key. And this leads into probably the best level in the game, the Milkman Conspiracy. Once you enter Boyd's mind, you're transported to his house, where he gives you clairvoyance to let you see the world as he sees it. And with this, you find that the milkman's dead, so you try and access the graveyard to find more clues. Once you exit the house, you'll find a very crooked neighborhood. Not as in it's bad or anything, but that it's literally crooked. and this shows that Boyd's mind is a little out of whack. Along with this, you can tell that he's a very paranoid person due to the countless things taking pictures of you or just following you. After this, you'll find a literal break in the road, and to traverse without being questioned about the milkman and being captured, you need to get a road sign. And this happens multiple times throughout the level where you need a certain object to keep moving forward. Once you reach the graveyard where you think the milkman will be, you get captured no matter what, and you get sent back to Boyd's house, where in turn, he gives you a literal rifle.
What?
Ah yes, violence. The perfect solution for anything. By the end of the level, you'll find that the rainbow squirts were the true people behind the milkman's disappearance, which leads directly into a boss fight with, well, their boss, and this ends in the milkman finally waking up.
What have you done? He wakes!
I am the milkman. My milk is delicious.
Yes!
The asylum in general, though, is just such an amazing concept because, of course, the most crazy and wacky levels would take place in a crazy person's head. These so-called crazy people include a washed-up actress whose mood wildly swings depending on the lighting on stage within her head, a tall fellow who's a descendant of Napoleon playing a game of Risk with Napoleon for control over their own mind, and finally, a painter who can't stop painting a bull and matador because of his PTSD from high school. After you help each of them overcome their issues, you have enough parts to trick the nearly blind assistant of Dr. Lobato so you can rise up to the top of the asylum and finally face down Dr. Lobato and Coach Oleander to free Lily. After defeating the final model of the brain tank with Coach Oleander's brain inside, you accidentally come across some sneezing powder, which makes you sneeze out your own brain, which leads to you having your brain jump into the brain tank with Coach Oleander's. This leads into the final level of the game, the Meat Circus, which combines yours and Coach Oleander's childhoods to make a demented level of both the circus and the butcher shop owned by Coach Oleander's father. And I've just gotta say, this level is so annoying. It's janky, time-based platforming where you have to try and make it to Coach Oleander as a child before he dies because his bunny won't stop running away and he can't keep a hold of it. Or it's just janky rail grinding due to the amount of turns. You'll either become motion sick or you'll miss all of your jumps trying to get to the next rail. At the end, demented versions of both Raz's and Coach Oleander's father appear with a platforming section or a boss fight respectively. But then, Raz's real father projects himself into your mind, and this shows that he isn't resentful of psychics because he is one. But this leads directly into the final boss fight of the game, where the amalgamation of the demented fathers appears and chases after you. But with the help of your father, you're able to defeat them. And with Coach Oleander and Dr. Lobato defeated, you're finally able to become a Psychonaut, with your father's permission, of course. But just then, a distress signal is sent by Lily's father because he's been kidnapped, which leads into Psychonauts 2. With all of this in mind, I love this game, and I see why so many others do too. It has so many interesting characters and such an amazing story, connecting back to my first point of just a summer camp adventure where you meet new friends. Or at least I think. I've never been to summer camp before.